Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, another episode of Trash Talk with Damien and TJ. And once again, we have CJ, the Silverback Gorilla Hays. That's his official name, but we like to call him CJ motherfucking Hays. The motherfucking is silent or pronounced Silverback, whichever. Trash Talk is brought to you again by Valhalla Combat Sports, Ink Shrinks Tattoo. Oh my God, I didn't go over the list before I did this. James Clark Sports Psychology and Hypnosis Therapy, the Striking Institute, the Fighters, and TJ's mom. I honestly can't believe I almost blanked on the sponsors. I'm sorry, sponsors, but besides that, how are you doing, CJ?
Good. Sponsors should be good too. You just gave them a little bit of extra time right there. And but no, I'm doing good. Feeling ready to go. How y'all doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. You know, besides getting my ass kicked by a couple teenage kids, it's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't complain. But CJ, thanks for talking to us, man. I mean, it's always a pleasure catching up. But this one's different as well. It's a special one. You're fighting this weekend down in Onalaska, Wisconsin, but you're making your debut at 170 pounds. Fight aside, how are you feeling being this far out?
I'm feeling good, and I'm still on my way down to 170. Actually, the funny thing is, this one's at 175 catch weight. Because I was planning on fighting LFA in November and making my 170 debut, and they called me, maybe 5-6 weeks ago, something like that. Probably more like 5. But I'd been training hard already, and they asked me if I could make 170, and I was like, that's a stretch. But they gave me 5 pounds wiggle room. And yeah, I'm feeling good. Surprisingly, nutrition's good thanks to Jess, and I live with my nutrition coach, so it's hard to cheat on your diet when you live with them. So that's an extra perk I get. She doesn't literally slap food out of my hand, just figuratively, and then yells at me. But no, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm leaner and in better cardio shape than I've ever been. I'm at 6% body fat right now, and I've never seen 6. And I still have a lot of my strength still. Been making sure I maintain that. But overall, mentally, I still feel sharp, which I'm really, really surprised about, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of scary that you're feeling healthy going down to a lower weight.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the pictures of yourself and everything. How are you? I mean, you mentioned a little bit how you're feeling good, you're feeling healthy at that weight. Do you think that this is a sustainable weight? And do you think that the last 5 pounds getting down to 170 flat, and do you think that that's going to be harder, or do you think that you are going to be able to do it after this test to 175?
Well, I think as long as I stay disciplined, it'll be just fine. In retrospect, at this point, I'm like, I could make 170 on Friday. In my mind right now, I'm like, I feel fine. I could make 170, but hey, ahead of time, I'll take the 5 pounds. The contract says.
Yeah.
Right? I was saying that to Coach Ben the other day. I'm like, in retrospect, I think I could have made 170 for this, but whatever, 75.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Hey, send me a new contract. No.
Yeah, right. One of the things that I've talked about, I guess it's Josh Clark. I don't know, somebody I consider a little brother, also training all the time and stuff. But me and him were talking before. I don't know. We've brought this up numerous times through over the years, I guess. But I never really feel like I'm in the best shape going into the fight unless I'm cutting weight. I feel like the process of cutting weight gets my cardio better. It gets my muscular strength and muscular endurance where it needs to be. And I don't know. It just me and him talking about that so much. I just kind of want to know how you feel about that.
I think I would agree in a sense. mentally and physically, because you have to push more cardio to lose more weight, you know, and you have to have a higher calorie deficit. So there's your discipline. I mean, you're stressing a little bit, at least the very least little bit about your weight and, you know, and your training, because you're trying to mix losing weight and training all together and still maintaining your 9 to 5, because none of us are like big money fighters yet. So maintaining that balance, I think, gives you a little mental toughness edge to where you know that, hey, we get at least 24 hours after weigh-ins, I'm going to feel good again. And that like this part is the hard part, and then I get to go have fun. And that's how I view it. I used to be, well, I still am anti-giant weight cuts. I dieted myself down. Like I said, thanks to Jess Pruitt, you know, she's my nutrition coach. She got her nutrition certification. I know you probably saw my post a while back. During lockdown, I was severely overweight. I was drinking, I'm not even gonna lie, I just drinking like a pint of whiskey a day. And that's a lot of whiskey, man. And then the decisions that come with it, and the gyms are closed. I was 255 pounds at one point, and once she got her nutrition certification, well, actually, before she even finished it, I started becoming her science project. So I was like her first project, and then we got me where last camp for the 185 fight, I didn't even cut. I was like almost 3 pounds under at the weigh-ins, and then that was the determining factor. I'm like, okay, so since I don't really drink anymore, except like right after my fight, you know, I'll party hard for like a week, and then I reel it back in. And so now that I'm not much of a drinker, and I feel like that was my biggest vice that was like unhealthy nutrition wise. I think having my discipline right now and getting to this lower weight class is something completely manageable and easy. I didn't make it to where I have to have a giant water cut. Now, when I go 170, there's going to be a bigger water cut, but like this one is fine. This is my last day of my big part of the water load before the cut. And it's just still been just coming off. So I'm like, shit, this is going to be easy. You know, a shit run and maybe a quick cry in the sauna, and we'll be all right. So.
I love to hear it because, you know, that's one of the things that, you know, you focus on when a guy comes down in weight, and especially is how he perform. But hearing this, it sounds like this was the right move all along, and perhaps you were just fighting bigger gentlemen before. And getting on to the fight a little bit, because, I mean, if you're like me and you're a fan of violence, you should be very excited about the fight going down this Saturday between yourself and Alfonso Bell. I mean, there's two guys that do not like stepping backwards, like to throw big, heavy punches. What do you know about Alfonso besides the quick breakdown I just gave? And, you know, how did this fight come into play? You mentioned it was about 5 weeks ago you first heard about it.
Well, I mean, coming down to welterweight, I'm a little crazy, so I kind of stalk everybody who's potentially competition, even if I like them. Like even if I like them, I still stalk their ass. I'm like, what are they doing, you know, and stuff. So, and this is no disrespect to Alfonso. I didn't know who he was until you guys did that fighter prediction for Dillashaw versus Sandhagen, and then he was amping up his fight for September 11th, and that he's proving that he's a top 10 welterweight. And not knowing I'm coming down to welterweight, I'm like, who is this guy? So, you know, I've done my research on him, and, you know, he's tough. Like, he's a tough guy, and he comes to bang. Even as much as, like, his record doesn't really reflect that. I mean, even in his losses, you see he hurts the other guy. He always hurts them. So, like, I'm expecting him to come out and try to hurt me. And I hope he's expecting the same, because you know, it's two guys with dynamite in their hand, and both seem to think that they have the advantage at least somewhere, everywhere. But what's not to be excited about that, man? I've been chomping at the bit. This will be a fun fight to watch for sure. It's going to be fireworks. That's for damn sure.
Honestly, when this fight was announced, I was heartbroken, super excited, and just I just know that this is going to be a good fight no matter what. but I'm like, fuck, I love both of you guys. It's like, is there any way that both guys can win? That's something I thought about when I saw that poster. It's insane. But with his attributes and with your attributes, and the fact that both of you guys understand that there's a way that you can win, how do you see yourself winning, and what do you think the most dangerous aspect of Alfonso is?
Well, his most dangerous aspect is that first round. I mean, most everybody fades in the second, but he comes out like a bat out of hell in that first round. And I think he realizes that that's like a good chance to put me away. But I just think that overall, I'm the better, well-rounded fighter. Now, I felt that way against my last fight in Jeff Nielsen, and I feel like I was displaying that until he landed that smooth right hand on me. He saw a mistake I was making. And just a quick sidebar on that fight, to like the people online that are my friends that have been saying, oh, that was a lucky punch and stuff like that. I don't like that. That was not a lucky punch. And the more I even look back at the film and I even look at what his coaches are saying in the corner, they kept doing this, saying, hey, he's dropping his left hand. And the second I dropped it in the second round, that was when he hurt me. So, like, that was a calculated punch, and he executed it well. Just a little sidebar there.
No.
But this fight coming up, I just think I have the advantage everywhere. I think I'm a better striker. I'm definitely a better wrestler. I'm a better wrestler than most of these amateurs, to be honest. Well, all of them. But and overall, I think I just have the better gas tank and the better will to win. I'm a competitor. I've wrestled for 15 years, wrestled NCAA, Muay Thai, TBA national champ. Like, I know how to win. And I think that's my edge, is I really know how to win. He knows how to win sometimes, but like, he has some quit in him. So That's how I feel. And that's no disrespect to him. Like, everybody has a quitting point.
I like what you said earlier too. I mean, dude, like you're accurately predicting your own self, or accurately assessing your own self, knowing that your friends are telling you, hey, the punch was lucky or whatever, right? And then you going back and looking at it like, no, I was dropping my hand. That's a big deal, because that's when you recognize a mistake, you can fix it. I like what you said also, where I mean, this isn't even, I don't really even have a question, but I'm just saying, like, I like what you said, where you said your friends are saying that that's a lucky punch. Like, no, it wasn't. He was listening to his coaches, and he did right, because it allows you the right assessment to go on and how to change and not let that happen again. Because there's this famous quote where when people say someone got lucky, and the guy responded, he says, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. I was prepared, and he gave me the opportunity. You realizing that the only reason that they had the opportunity is because you were dropping in your left hand lets me know right now is that you were making improvements in this camp and for every fight going forward. Yep. Now, do you think that is something that he probably seen and is hoping to exploit going into this fight? And then I guess after this interview's posted, he's going to know that you made that mistake and that you're planning on not making that mistake again.
I know he knows that he knows I know that he knows. So, yeah, no, I'm not worried about it. He can see this. I mean, he should have the respect for me that he should know that I'm working on it, yeah. And I obviously know, I know he's working. I know he's been working his ass off. He was working his ass off for a previous opponent who pulled out for, I have no idea why, but I got the opportunity and I jumped at it because, hey, what better opportunity here? Fight close to home where I can still bring an army, fight another banger on a fun promotion that really puts on their fighters and stuff. And they seem like a lot of fun. And I'm really excited to make my 3 River Throwdown debut. And, I mean, I know he's been getting ready. So like he better not think I'm coming out the same little dance around with this left hand here like a young Chuck Liddell or something like that. I'm gonna be a different fighter like I am every single fight. So
oh yeah, I love that, man.
I love that you mentioned that, because the one thing I wanted to tie in just to go back, Damian already said it, but I'm going to beat the record. I love how you assessed that last fight as well, and kind of tying into that. This is going to be the first time in your MMA career that you fought twice in the same calendar year. I mean, you've been notoriously had layoffs, whether it's been from injuries after fights, COVID, which affected everybody. But getting that chance to, they say you get better by doing something. So getting a chance to fight twice in 2021 here, how much do you think that's going to affect you in this fight? Just being in a cage not even 3 months ago.
Well, before MMA, I knew nothing but 40 matches in a season. 40 plus matches in a season for wrestling. When I'm doing them closer and closer like this, it's like a season. I'm staying in shape and I'm staying disciplined. I'm constantly working. My coaches are less nice to me now, which is good. They're, like when you're in there more, getting ready for something more often, they're critiquing you, which is continuing to make me my own biggest critic, but they're also breaking down shit that I don't see. And that feels like a season to me. Now, this is a year-round sport, and obviously there will be some like little gaps in between and stuff like that, but I like it like this, man. I've always wanted it like this, where I just keep the fights rolling in, man, especially when I turn pro on these like smaller cards and stuff while I build a name up for myself. That's a consistent paycheck, like that can pay off a car in a year if you fight enough times.
Oh yeah, dude, I love it. I guess before we start to wrap all this up or whatever, I got one last question, just because I'm expecting an exciting fight. What type of fight are you expecting? And do you think that he's been practicing or working on some things that may catch you off guard? And without giving too much away of yourself, what have you been working on to catch him off guard?
Let me tell you something, Damian. Hell yeah. The Silverback was handed his first loss after 4 years of a win streak. Yeah. And somebody that looks like Homie the Clown thinks he's going to come and hand me my second loss in a row. No, I don't think so. Yeah. No, the Silverback knows no fear. The Silverback knows no quit. But one thing the Silverback does know is pain. Yeah. So that's my forecast for the night. Yeah. For this whole fight is a whole lot of pain. So get your tickets now at nitrotickets.com. See it live and in fashion. His eyes will be flashing when my hands come crashing. Yeah, I'm ready for war. I
don't feel like I should even talk right now. I feel like we should be done. I'd be remiss if I didn't give you the platform to thank any teammates, sponsors. I'm going to shut up. You know what to do.
Man, yeah, as always. Thank you, Coach Chris, Coach Ben, and now Coach Jess, for all my support over at the Cellar Gym and at Ben's new gym at Forge Fitness. A little side note, going down this weight class, and y'all welterweights, like I said before, better be wearing your shitting pants, because you're going to be doing a whole lot of pants shitting real soon. I haven't lost 1 ounce of strength. I feel like I might be even stronger now because I'm lighter, so I don't have to move my own weight behind the weight that I already can move. So I'm a whole different animal. Thanks to Coach Ben, primarily for that strength and conditioning and just tying it all to fighting. Other than that, thank you, my friends, family, my endless support, and thank you guys for the platform as always.
Man, dude, we're nothing without the fighters. So thank you. First and foremost, and then anybody watching this video, like this video, subscribe to Trash Talk with Damian and TJ for all your local MMA content. Don't be a hoe.
Don't be a hoe. Thanks, guys.